ranked 1, 2, 4, and 6, I think, all losses. You put that off to coincidence, or something about this time of the year, you're 20 games in and into the grind? Makes it just hard to play.
First of all, I didn't know, because you know me well enough. I could really care less. I'm only worried about my team and coaching my guys. We all had road games and tough schedules. I don't know. I mean, our issues probably aren't what other guys' issues are. Everybody has their own thing they're dealing with, so.
You said before the season started about February, you thought this could be a really good, you even said best defensive team. Where are you in relation to that? Because we're almost to February.
You sure I said February? I may have said March. We're a ways away, and I'm trying some different things. You demand and then you watch, and if there's certain things guys can't do, you can't ask them to do stuff they can't do at this point. But you push them, you challenge them, you try, and then there comes a point you say, okay, you're not going to be able to do this. And then you got to figure out how you play. But I don't ever want to short the kids. I want to give them every opportunity to be out there and play the way we play. But, we're doing some good stuff.
What sense do you have, John, of how the guys reacted to what happened Tuesday?
They were good yesterday. They were really good. And again, if you demand a lot, you get a lot. If you accept mediocrity, you're going to get it every time. And by us not passing the ball, they must have thought that's not what we're demanding. And so yesterday they just, we did some things to make them pass, and then they did some things just to pass. And this is, for all you basketball bennies, just like a simple thing. When the ball comes to you, you either shoot it, drive it right away, drive it or shoot it, pass it to the post, but don't hold it. Just don't hold the ball. You got things you can do. Shoot it, drive it, post it. If not, don't hold it. That means you got to just get rid of it. And that's what we did yesterday, and we look better. But, they'll go in the game, and they're going to revert, and somebody's going to get it, and he's going to back up and watch this, and then the defense sinks in, and you get absolutely nothing. And then you shoot a step-back jumper with your feet, toes up, fade away, and say, I almost made it. I can make that shot. Yeah, 1 out of 6, but we can't win. So, but let me just say, this is a great group of kids, and they're trying. We're just really young, just a young group.
Cal, watching it back, you obviously played the whole game, but it seemed
Who?
like, I was watching it back there, and it seemed like at Tennessee, even though he played the whole game, there were times where he didn't have that extra gear.
No, his decision making was just horrendous. He made some shots which he hadn't made, but there were 5 drives that. Why did you do that? Again, if I catch it and they're all in there, probably don't want to go that way. Probably want to just throw it to somebody else and let them go. But it wasn't just him. We had everybody catching the ball, holding it. And then you're going down the other end, and what were they doing? And then you're coming down. I think we took 15 shots in 1 pass or no passes. You can't. How are you going to win a game? You can't win a game unless they're just so bad that they can't get back and guard you. And Tennessee's good. So look, this is all, keep telling you that it's January. Thank God it's January. And tomorrow's still in January? Thank God tomorrow's still in January. And, we're playing the top-ranked team that has veteran guards, that understands their freshmen is as good as any of our freshmen. They play inside out. Bill does a great job, and they're good. They drive the ball like we drive the ball. Difference is they shoot 42% from the 3. So if you say, well, we're going to get in here and then, well, they make threes. That's what they do.
Cal, do you guys chart like average number of passes before a shot? And
We
where were you
haven't.
before and where,
We haven't, but they watched film of 3 weeks ago where the ball moved and what kind of shot we created for each other. Listen, if you want to have fun, play harder than the other guy, dive on the floor, talk like crazy to your teammates, cover your teammates, swarm and know you're getting covered for, and then create easy shots for each other. You'll have a ball playing. Now, you got to win at the end of the day, but you'll have a ball playing. You don't do all those things, the other team has a ball playing.
John is holding the back on
I don't think so. I just think they like having that ball in their hands, and let me show you what I got. I think they got a little bit of that. But, you know, it's what happens. You're playing all these young kids. It's stuff that we deal with every year.
John, in coaching your team, you kind of use the analogy that it's kind of like landing a plane and hoping you don't run out of runway. You talked about a bunch of distractions, including the media. I was hoping you could kind of expound on that, especially
The media, you want me to do it as Donald Trump would do it or like I would do it? I said President Trump, excuse me. I will tell you that there's clutter, and you all are part of the clutter. Sometimes you're writing that they're the best in the world, they're the best that ever been. That's poison. You can drink that stuff and die. The other side of it is the negative stuff about one or the other or whatever, and it starts breaking down team. So you don't listen to it. How about part of the media is all these draft boards? How about part of the clutter becomes the people around them? And I always say, you know, they love you more than they love this team. Just how it is. And that's not just in this program, it's in every program. You got to keep the clutter away, and you got to be about your teammates. And you got to know, we got to come in understanding that if we're starting a race and we're way behind because we're not ready or they're the aggressor, when you catch up, they look around and they run a little faster. You catch up and they look around and run, and by the third time you let go of the rope. I can't catch them. And it all because you weren't ready coming in to say, I'm playing harder than these dudes. We're coming after them. They're not coming at. It's all that kind of stuff. The clutter, sometimes you're worried about 6 months from now. I've always tried to keep teams in the moment. Don't worry about that. You worry about now. You do your best every day. That stuff all plays out fine. But it's hard. How about if you guys were their age, 18 and 19, and you wouldn't go to the draft boards? You would not go to the draft boards every day. Every day. You'd go 4 times a day. And you'd look, where am I drafted? And if you started going the wrong way, you probably think, I got to shoot more. No, I got to hold the ball a little bit. No. Or someone's trying to tell you how to play. And you say, well, who was telling you that? Nah, the guy was cutting my hair and he was trying to tell me. Oh, so you're going to listen to the barber now. I mean, so it's all stuff we deal with young kids. And that's why I say you got to have relationships with these kids. You got to, it's a different day and age. And it's, they all talk to each other.
John, how does Carlton Bragg, his absence, affect or heighten the importance of getting it to me?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just worried about how we're playing, and you know what they're going to do. We don't know what they're going to do. They may go zone. They may go triangle 2. They may trap the post. They may go small and make us go. So I'm not, again, you know, whether he plays or doesn't play, and I guess he's not playing. I don't know. I haven't read a whole lot on it, but at this stage, I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about us. Like, let's have another great practice, even though it's going to be shorter. Let's really get something out of this and be ready to go play as well as we can play. That's it.
Going back to your earlier point, how important it is important for your guards not to get caught into a showcase mode with their guards and take it as a one-on-one challenge?
Well, I think both of us, you know, you're having 2 teams that drive the ball, and you're having teams that, you know, if there's bumping and grinding, they're calling fouls, it's an issue for both teams. You know, because now you're going to go into your bench. So.
Given that they are a little thin in the post and then the way Bam is playing, what you talked about, how strict will that give it to him or sit mandate be?
No, I'm just trying to tell him, look, do I have to call plays for you to throw him the ball? Do you really want to play that way? Just if he's open, throw it to him. Just have in your mind, I'm looking at him first. I'll throw it ahead. If I don't have something, I'm trying to get him the ball. But, you know, he's the greatest kid. He didn't say anything. He wants to go against Ty. Why do you think he wants to go against Ty every day? Yes. He wants it. Like, I want someone that's not going to make this easy for me. Get Ty. Ty, you guard me. I mean, it's great to see, and it's great to see his improvement. But again, we're not a one-dimensional, just throw it inside. I mean, we got good guards. We can space the court. But you take advantage of stuff. And again, we don't know how they're going to play. They could be sagging. They could be playing a triangle and two and put a guy on him, front him in the post. There's all kind of stuff they could try to do.
Cal, when you took a look at these two programs, Blue Bloods who stood the test of time for decades and decades and decades and decades, and what this means for college basketball, the two winningest teams playing each other?
I wish it wasn't now. I wish it was earlier. But it was kind of like our North Carolina game at Vegas. I mean, at this point, I bet you if you ask people who won that game, they would say, you know what, I don't know, but wow, what a game it was. And this, we went to an overtime game down there last time we played them. And that was in their building. And they, we're a different team, and they're different. I mean, they have the guards back, but they're different. But it's just two programs trying to get better. I would imagine Bill's trying to figure out his team as I'm trying to figure out our team.
How do you like the idea of the tournament offering a snapshot of where people are seated during
Yeah,
the 2 weeks?
I do.
Or is that more clutter that you were talking about?
No, I like transparency. So we don't, on draft or on the selection day, bang, you're an 8 seed. What? So now as you go, you have an idea of where it is. Just be transparent. I think all the things they're trying to do where the 1 seeds get to pick where they're going to play. So if you're the 1-1, which region do you want to be in? Why do they have to pick it? Why can't you pick it? What's the difference? Well, it's power. What? What's right for the kids? Let them pick. You're the number 2 seed. Where do you want to play? What region? You're the 3 seed. What region? You're the 4th seed? Here's where you're going. They're all gone. I mean, it's better that way. I mean, it's just more transparent. And I think they're moving in that direction. Which I think is good. And I think opening up, they do it in women, right? They do it in baseball. They do it in football. Why shouldn't we do it in basketball? What? We don't because we don't. What? We don't because we don't. I mean, everybody else is doing it, do it. So I like it.
Two
Was
more.
that anything to Isaiah or done anything different with him to maybe get his confidence back on track after some of this?
He's a confident kid. He just has to have a little more energy in these games. I don't know. He's been zapped a little bit, but it's a long season, folks. I mean, I'm telling you, I walked out, and Rick Barnes looks at me and says, every game you play is like this. Well, I'm not playing. How about if you're them? And you're all freshmen, and you're walking into a sellout, and the people are going crazy, and the guys are jumping this high, and they make all kind of shots they've never made all year, and then the game's close at the end, and you better make good decisions. And you're 18-year-old. And then you got the coach sweating and yelling and screaming, and guy doesn't wipe up the water. I almost punched a guy. I mean, it's.
Did you guys work
John,
out, you in the
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine.
John, you've been in both programs, Kentucky and Kansas. Which one has the greatest tradition?
Well, they both have great tradition, and I mean, I remember when I was there, and Coach Owens is going to be at practice today. So who got me into this profession? We were in Allen Phillips in the old locker room, and they had literally a shower that was 50 years old, and I'm thinking, Fog Island showered in this shower. So they had a good shower, and then they had that old one. I always went in the old one, and from Wilt Chamberlain to, you think of JoJo, all the guys that played there, and all the guys, it's two programs. So I'm hoping Coach Hall is here today. I know I was trying to get those guys to come in too, so we will see.
All right, guys, ready to practice. Thank you.
Thanks.